Hi, this is the Anime Desu channel, don't forget to subscribe. Jitsu wa Watashi wa talks about Kurumai Asahi, an ordinary and unpopular high school boy who only has a few friends. Even though looking like a waste, he actually likes her classmate, a girl named Shiragami Yuko. Asahi is just an ordinary high school student who begins to feel love. He always looks at Shiragami, who looks perfect from afar every day. Their eyes accidentally meet, and it causes an awkward situation. As a result, Asahi gets scolded by his teacher, who is giving a lecture in his class. Different from Asahi, who has several close friends, Shiragami doesn't have anyone around her. She is always alone in class. Asahi always pays attention to this. The reasons behind it are not yet known. Asahi's friends seem to notice Asahi's strange behavior and his feelings towards Shiragami. Okade, Sakurada, and Yuta have known for a long time about Asahi, who likes Shiragami. Even so, they still support this impossible relationship. Moreover, Asahi was rejected by their class president, Aizawa Nagisa, who had rejected him even before Asahi confessed to her. Asahi was dejected and traumatized by the incident. However, he refuses to give in before he tries with all his heart, and with his friend's support, he decides to confess to Shiragami so he won't regret it in the future. Accidentally, Asahi finds out Shiragami's top secret, which reveals her true identity as a vampire. As a result, Asahi fails to confess his feelings and pretends not to see anything for her sake. Shiragami explains she is a vampire, and Asahi is the only one who has found out about that. As a vampire, she has no friends and is always alone. Knowing this, Asahi, who previously wanted to confess to her, changes his mind. According to Shiragami's agreement with her father, she decides to leave school after her secret as a vampire is discovered by other people. Asahi is worried and feels guilty because he knows that it is because of him that Shiragami's school life will come to an end. Seeing her struggle to go to school and not having any friends, Asahi feels guilty and decides to help her. Asahi forces Shiragami not to leave school, and he will keep her secret until he dies so that she does not leave school. All of these things were done so that Shiragami would have more valuable high school memories than before. Asahi also asks Shiragami to be his first friend after seeing her struggle, who is always alone. Asahi intends to give Shiragami valuable memories.
私はほら
やっぱ絶対ダメだつうかこのまま白髪がだからなんかすげえ分かりやすだけは絶対それも俺と友達になってください
Although it is different from his initial plan to make her his girlfriend, in the end he becomes her friend, which becomes the beginning of their secret relationship. Shiragami accepts his offer, and it makes her happy because she has got a friend for the first time. After the incident in the classroom, they are getting closer. Even though Asahi still hopes to become Shiragami's boyfriend, he feels thankful that he can become her first friend and make her life more vibrant. Slowly, Shiragami begins to like Asahi without her realizing it. The following day, Aizawa Nagisa, the girl who once rejected Asahi, although Asahi had not confessed to her yet. At that time, Nagisa told him about his pathetic life. However, instead of staying away from Asahi, Nagisa has started to like him. Moreover, his closeness with Shiragami nowadays makes her jealous and upset with him. Then, Nagisa asks Asahi if he ever liked her and intended to confess to her in front of people. Unfortunately, her tsundere behavior keeps her away from him. In contrast to her intention, Asahi gets rejected for the second time by the same person. After school, Asahi accompanies Shiragami. Their relationship is getting closer and look like a high school couple. Asahi finds out that in the vampire world, sucking blood is a form of liking. Thus, Asahi hopes that Shiragami sucks his blood. Amid the conversation, an unexpected incident happens when Nagisa suddenly comes into the class and accidentally sees Shiragami's wings open spread. It makes her secret known to Nagisa. Asahi tries to keep the secret from Nagisa so that Shiragami won't leave school. Surprisingly, Nagisa reveals her real identity as an alien, much to their surprise. Asahi is confused by the fact that he is met with a vampire and an alien race appearing as his classmates. Asahi has to keep their secret to ensure their survival in the school. Nagisa is an alien assigned to the Earth. Nagisa, who doesn't believe in Asahi, forces him to remove his memories with her hammer, which will get rid of his memories about her. At first, Asahi refuses it as he knows the hammer can erase all of his memories about Shiragami, but then he is willing to do it so that Shiragami's secret remains safe, although they won't recognize each other. However, Shiragami doesn't want him to forget her after what they went through. She is thankful that her life moved to a better way after meeting Asahi. It makes Nagisa change her mind so that they can continue their relationship because they actually like each other. Deep inside, Nagisa feels jealous of their relationship, which is getting closer every day.
白髪とりあえずこのポジションにというか
黒峰くんの私言ったよ。黒峰くんにバレた時点でそれをしてまで私の秘密忘れ、それよりどんだけ私、あ、いや、そんなつもりやん。いやこっちこそ。
The next day, we are introduced to a new character, Akemi Mikan. She is Asahi's childhood friend, but she likes to bully him, although she is actually into him. As a school journalist, Akemi often gathers news about the student's taint. She even has the heart to torture the informant to get what she wants. Asahi is helpless as she knows about his relationship with Shiragami. Akemi attempts to dig for information about Shiragami by torturing him, but Asahi doesn't say anything about it and is persistent in keeping her secret. Later, Shiragami doesn't come to school, and their homeroom teacher assigns Asahi to go to her house. However, Akemi tries to follow him and forces him that she is allowed to come along. Luckily, Nagisa comes to help him, and he can be freed from Akemi. Asahi arrives at Shiragami's house and is welcomed by bats wandering around her house. Shiragami looks happy with his visit because it is the first time her friend is coming to her house. Moreover, Asahi is someone she likes. Therefore, she feels quite awkward because of his presence at her house. Likewise, Asahi also feels awkward about being this close to Shiragami. Things get complicated when Akemi, who followed Asahi, comes to Shiragami's house and bumps into the closet and makes Shiragami's stuff fall. With the information she obtained, Akemi makes false news about Asahi's relationship with Shiragami, and she will publish the news at school so that everyone at school can figure out about their relationship. Asahi is afraid of what may happen, and he chases Akemi and begs her to delete the news and not publish it to protect Shiragami, who is very precious to him. Apparently, Akemi wants to get Asahi's attention. However, after seeing Asahi's effort and sincerity to protect Shiragami, Akemi gives in and decides not to continue her plan. Shiragami seems to like Asahi more after seeing what he did for her sake. It is then revealed that Akemi actually likes Asahi, and she has a personality disorder that makes her able to talk with her glasses, which have the opposite nature of herself.
やっぱみかんちゃんって勝手に書きゃいいのにどっつうか下道ぶってる。
岡の言う通りだと
あんたは黙ってなさいってあれつまりや。もうメガネのくせに喋ってんじゃない。福の神である私、実は私はメガネとお話系がいいの。でも私がそういう最低なやつ、あんたは黙ってなさいよ。
The following day, Nagisa suddenly disappears. Unexpectedly, he appears in her alien form and asks for Asahi's help to follow her. Because the main battery of her robot runs out, Asahi has to carry her from the women's restroom. It all started because of a misunderstanding that made her forget to charge her alien robot's battery. Nagisa looks embarrassed as she finds Asahi carrying her. With the help of Shiragami, Nagisa is charged in the infirmary. Surprisingly, Akemi finds Nagisa's real body, which makes them panic that her identity will be revealed. Nagisa then pretends to become a puppet and manages to trick Akemi. Things get worse when Shimada looks at Nagisa, whom he considers as an action figure, and he wants to do something indecent with her. Asahi then grabs Nagisa from Shimada's hand to protect her, even though he is suspected of doing anything with her. Asahi keeps running away from Shimada and the others. Thanks to Asahi's sincerity to help her, her feelings are growing towards him, although she declines the fact. As Asahi manages to hide from the others, she suddenly transforms into her normal form, and the incident happens. As a result, Nagisa kicks him out of the room, and the incident draws them closer. The next morning, Asahi and Shiragami walk together to school. Asahi seems to worry about Shiragami. After school, Asahi and Nagisa invite Shiragami to walk around the city. Shiragami feels blessed as this is the first time in her life that she has friends who accompany and give attention to her. At this moment, Shiragami asks Asahi to go out to an amusement park. It will be like they go on a date for the first time, which makes Asahi happy. They play several rides, although they are afraid of extreme rides. Shiragami tells him the story of her mother who met her father at the same place. Her mother is a human while her father is from a vampire clan. It makes Shiragami a half-vampire. Moreover, they also went to the same school and share the same story as they are. This makes them think that they may be destined for each other. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.